So a very warm welcome to all the Sankirtan warriors of this great movement of Lord Chaitanya. Hare Krishna!
Hare Krishna!
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai Assembled devotees ki jai. So today I have chosen this particular verse because it is so fundamental to our understanding of Krishna consciousness, and this was a verse quoted very often also by Srila Prabhupada, and many of our leaders in our movement often quote this verse. It goes like this. I hope everyone can see. It is from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 3, verse number 52. And a hearty welcome to Christina, Carmen, and Anuradha. and a hearty welcome to our guests. I don't know your name, but...
There's no name.
Okay, all right. Hare Krishna. In our Hare Krishna movement, everyone has a name. We are not impersonalists, right? We are persons. So you must be having some name.
Some name, maybe.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayai Yajanti Sumedasaha Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayai Yajanti Sumedasaha Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana Prayai Yajanti Sumedasaha. Prabhus, please repeat if you like.
Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam
Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam
Sangopangastra Parshadam
Sangopangastra Parshadam
Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai
Yajna Sankirtana Prayai
Yajanti Sumedasaha.
Yajanti Sumedasaha. Ladies? Anuradha. Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yajna Sankirtana Prayai Yajanti Sumedasaha. Voila. Krishna Varnam. Repeating the syllables Krishna. Tvisha. With a luster. Akrishnam. Not black, golden. Sa-anga. Along with associates. Upanga. Servitors. Astra. Weapons. Parshadam. Confidential companions. Yagnai. By sacrifice. Sankirtana Prayai. Consisting chiefly of congregational chanting. Yajanti. They worship. He. Certainly. Sumedasaha. Intelligent persons. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Please repeat. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead who constantly sings the name of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. Purport. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.32. Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this verse in his commentary on the Bhagavatam known as Krama Sandarbha, wherein he says that Lord Krishna also appears with a golden complexion. That golden Lord Krishna is Lord Haribol, who is worshipped by intelligent men in this age. That is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam by Garga Muni, who said that although the child Krishna was blackish, he also appears in 3 other colors, red, white, and yellow. He exhibited his white and red complexions in the Satya and Treta ages respectively. He did not exhibit the remaining color yellow gold until he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, who is known as Gaur Hari. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that Krishna Varna means Sri Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna Varna and Krishna Chaitanya are equivalent. The name Krishna appears with both Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Krishna. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he always engages in describing Krishna and thus enjoys transcendental bliss by chanting and remembering his name and form. Lord Krishna himself appears as Lord Chaitanya to preach the highest gospel. Lord Chaitanya always chants the holy name of Krishna and describes it also. And because he is Krishna himself, whoever meets him will automatically chant the holy name of Krishna and later describe it to others. He injects one with transcendental Krishna consciousness, which merges the chanter in transcendental bliss. In all respects, therefore, he appears before everyone as Krishna, either by personality or by sound. Simply by seeing Lord Chaitanya, one at once remembers Lord Krishna. One may therefore accept him as Vishnu Tattva. In other words, Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna himself. Sangopangastra Parshadam further indicates that Lord Chaitanya is Lord Krishna. His body is always decorated with ornaments of sandalwood and with sandalwood paste. By his super excellent beauty, he subdues all the people of the age. In other descent, the Lord sometimes used weapons to defeat the demoniac. But in this age, the Lord subdues them with his all-attractive figure as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that his beauty is his astra or weapon to subdue the demons. Because he is all-attractive, it is to be understood that all the demigods lived with him as his companions. His acts were uncommon and his associates wonderful. When he propagated the Sankirtan movement, he attracted many great scholars and acharyas, especially in Bengal and Orissa. Lord Chaitanya is always accompanied by his best associates like Lord Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas. Srila Jiva Goswami cites a verse from Vedic literature which says there is no necessity of performing sacrificial demonstrations or ceremonial functions. He comments that instead of engaging in such external pompous exhibitions, all people, regardless of caste, creed, or color, can assemble together and chant Hare Krishna to worship Lord Chaitanya. Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam indicates that prominence should be given to the name of Krishna. Lord Chaitanya taught Krishna consciousness and chanted the name of Krishna. Therefore, to worship Lord Chaitanya, everyone should together chant the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. To propagate worship in churches, temples, or mosques is not possible because people have lost interest in that. But anywhere and everywhere, people can chant Hare Krishna. Thus, worshipping Lord Chaitanya, they can perform the highest activity and fulfill the highest religious purpose of satisfying the Supreme Lord. Srila Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, a famous disciple of Lord Chaitanya, said, the principle of transcendental devotional service having been lost, Sri Krishna Chaitanya has appeared in order to deliver again the process of devotion. He is so kind that he is distributing love of Krishna. Everyone should be attracted more and more to his lotus feet as humming bees are attracted to a lotus flower. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Ti Namini Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeeshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I offer my most humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. And I humbly seek your blessings so that I will be empowered by your mercy to do justice to this class that has been given to me. Thank you so much. So, Lord Chaitanya, he is called Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Goratvishe Namaha. What is the meaning of that? Namo Mahavadanyaya means most merciful avatar. Lord Chaitanya is so merciful, he doesn't think of anyone's qualifications. He doesn't care about what situation we are in. He doesn't care how fallen we are, how degraded we are, how sinful we are, what country we come from, what caste we come from, what varna we come from, what ashram we come from. He is just distributing Krishna Prem freely to one and all, regardless of anyone's qualifications. How merciful he is. He is giving the highest of the highest to the fallen souls of this age of Kali, and therefore he is called the most merciful, most magnanimous, most munificent, most compassionate, most charitable, most everything. Lord Chaitanya ki! And we are so blessed that somehow, fallen as we are, wretched as we are, sinful as we are, degraded as we are, disqualified as we are, Lord Chaitanya came in this age to give us the mercy. He comes once in the day of Lord Brahma. It is very, very rare, which comes after 1,000 yuga cycles. That is like some billions and billions of years. 4 billion something, I don't even remember the number. It is such a huge number that is unthinkable. And Lord Chaitanya has come in this age of Kali to lift each and every fallen soul and take them back home, back to Godhead, where there is eternal life, where every word is a song, every step is a dance, every day is a festival, and there's unlimited happiness of loving Krishna, serving Krishna in joyfulness that is unimaginable. That is our home. Not this place where there's danger at every step. Here, this is Martya Lok. This is a prison house. Here, there is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Dosha, Anudarshanam. That means there's constantly misery. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. So you may think, oh my God, how have I landed over here? It is because of our envy of Krishna that we came over here. Because of our desire to lord it over material nature, we came over here. But now, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, understanding that we are completing our prison sentence, we can take advantage of this great and wonderful, unprecedented process of God realization that has been given to us in this age of Kali simply by coming together and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And this is not anything foreign. Love of God exists in the heart of every living entity. It is just dormant. The trees, the birds, the cats, the caterpillars, the mice, the whales, the fish, the elephant, everyone has love of Krishna, but they are covered over, very dull consciousness. But in the human form of life, we can revive this Krishna consciousness by this process of chanting Hare Krishna. Because man is made in the image of God. He is the highest on the evolutionary scale. So it is only one step more and we go back home, back to Godhead. How wonderful that is, isn't it? This is a very wonderful process. And Srila Prabhupada has made it so easy in this age of Kali. Actually, Srila Prabhupada is very liberal. He said, I am 80% liberal. Because if I had to tell you everything, you would faint. So he has actually made it very, very simple for us fallen souls in this age of Kali. Just come together, chant Hare Krishna, take Krishna Prasadam, read about Krishna, engage in some little service, purify our existence, and go back home, back to Godhead. So simple. So, we must take advantage of this great good fortune, make our life successful, and then help others to make their life successful. Srila Prabhupada said, you have become fortunate, you go and make others fortunate. So, whatever we have received, we try to share with others. That is how we are all sitting over here. We are engaging in the process of Krishna Katha. Why? Because we want to share the joy. We want to share our good fortune. We want to increase the soldiers of this Hare Krishna movement so that the whole world is flooded with Krishna consciousness. There is peace and prosperity for all. Yes, this is a distinct possibility because the golden age has come. Even in this fallen age of Kali, we can have a very peaceful, very prosperous, very wonderful atmosphere simply by taking the tenets of Krishna consciousness seriously and spreading it everywhere. So not just humans, the whole of creation will become peaceful and happy, and this whole world will become like Vaikuntha. No more anxiety, no more problems. You may think, how is that even possible? This age of Kali is so degraded. All around we can see so much chaos, so much turbulence, so much sinful activities. But just think, even 50, 60 years ago in the West, nobody had even heard the name Krishna. But when Srila Prabhupada came, everyone started chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna became a household word. He gathered all these white elephants, as he called them, the hippies. The young hippies who were looking for something better in life, and he gathered them, and by his love, by his caring, by his affection, by his genuineness, by his sincerity, he captured their souls. They didn't know anything much of philosophy. They only did whatever they did because of love of Prabhupada. So this is how Srila Prabhupada captured all these souls and brought them to Krishna consciousness. And this is an example we all need to follow, because the rules and regulations will come later on. But initially, people should know we care about them. His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj said, people don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. So this is the hallmark of our Krishna consciousness movement, that we are spreading the love. Why did Srila Prabhupada call Sunday Love Feast? Because here you experience real love. Real love is not in the ephemeral things of this world, but of the soul to another soul, of the soul to Krishna. That real love wants the best. And what is the best? Krishna. So, devotees of the Hare Krishna movement who are engaged seriously in Krishna consciousness are doing the highest welfare work. Sometimes in the world when we go out, they say, why don't you get a job? What are you all doing? You'll just, go around doing this and chant Hare Krishna. You're just having a good time. Why don't you become responsible? Why don't you get a job? They say like that. We say we are doing the highest and the best job in the world. We are uplifting the consciousness of this planet. We are pulling people away from their sinful, wretched activities and bringing them onto the path of sanity, of coming to the form of human beings instead of animal. What's the difference between an animal and a human being? Animal eats, sleeps, makes defense. We do the same thing. What is the difference? So, the human form of the life is very valuable. And in this valuable form of life, we can revive our dormant love of God by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Lord Chaitanya, as we said initially, makes no distinctions. Anyone and everyone, regardless of caste, creed, color, age, socioeconomic status, nationality, gender, orientation, can attain the highest perfection of the human form of life. Yes, this is a fact. This is a fact. No one should feel discouraged about who they are, where they are, what gender they are, what nationality. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. One who sincerely takes to the shelter of the lotus feet of the bona fide spiritual master and carefully, diligently, sincerely performs all the activities which is the order of the spiritual master will slowly find himself or herself getting more and more purified, getting more and more fixed up, getting more and more in bliss of this Hare Krishna movement. So this is a very wonderful movement. This has come to save the world in its darkest hour. Srila Prabhupada said, historians will note that this Hare Krishna movement saved the world in its darkest hour. And it's pretty dark out there. The sinful activities have reached enormous proportions. People are suffering due to the darkness of ignorance. And in this darkness of ignorance, the holy name has come like the sun and the moon, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, the sun and the moon. Parama Karuna Pahudui Jana Nitai Gora Chandra Sabhavatara Sarashiromani Kevala Ananda Kanda Kevala Ananda Kanda. So these two brothers have come to make you very happy. By taking part in this Hare Krishna movement, what happens? We become very happy, really and truly happy. Not just show, it is real. First you become peaceful, then you start feeling contented, then you start feeling blissful, and then you become joyful. And you actually feel Krishna's love, Krishna's mercy, as he clears away all the anarthas from the heart, all the dirty things just fall away by the side, and we become closer and closer to who we really are. Who are we? Nothing but servants of Krishna. Eternal, joyful, full of knowledge, blissful. You are tiny little spark of Krishna. Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. Krishna is like the gold mine, and we are like tiny little particles of gold. Krishna is like the ocean of bliss. We are tiny, tiny droplets of that same bliss. Right? So, why not regain our position? Why not go back to who we really are? Because we have fallen away from that position. We are simply trying to regain what is actually our birthright. Every soul that has taken birth here has the right to go back to Krishna, has the right to become reinstituted in his original constitutional position of loving servitorship to Krishna. And this process has come to make it very easy for us. We cannot do heavy tapasya. We cannot go to Himalayas and sit in the ice cold and in the blazing sun and sit in meditation for thousands of years. That's all not possible now. It is impossible actually. But everyone can come together, clap their hands, sing and dance, chant Hare Krishna, get purified. This Sankirtan movement is extremely powerful. And simply by clapping our hands, what happens? All the anarthas, all the unwanted things fly away like birds are flying away. We will actually begin to feel this process is working. Once Srila Prabhupada, he asked his early disciples, how do you know this Krishna? How do you know this is Krishna? This is really and truly God. So one person says, because Bhagavad Gita says so. Another person says, Prabhupada, because you said so. Prabhupada said, I may be cheating you. How do you know? Bhagavad Gita, so many people have written, they may say something. So then one person very hesitantly, one little new bhakta, he raised his hand, he's saying, because I can feel Krishna. And Prabhupada said, yes, this is the answer. You can feel Krishna. And each and every one of us, when we are in Sankirtan, we feel Krishna, isn't it? It's not artificial. Nobody can just sing and dance like this for hours, right? Because we feel Krishna. And so we know this process is genuine, it works, and it will take us back home, back to Godhead. So thank you all very much for listening very patiently. We will now open up for questions, comments, discussion, realization, criticisms. Deval Rishi Narad Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
You said that usually people say, find a job and do something, seriously. But I think in this time, less of people telling us find a job because most of devotees have a job. Unfortunately, it's less of people that living in ashram and without a job. I just like comments and small joke.
Yeah, maybe over here, people don't say that, but in other places of the world, they still say, those who are still very prejudiced, they still say things like that. But you're right, most devotees now are in Grihastha ashram. Grihastha ashram means one has to provide nicely for one's dependents, so we must have some means of livelihood, and there is nothing wrong with that. One must earn honestly, and one must give something to the Hare Krishna movement as well as take care of one's dependents. So that is perfectly all right. Yeah, thank you for bringing out that point.
Yeah, because just observing, it's really spreading Krishna consciousness around the world, opening new temple, but somehow it's less of devotees living on the temple. It's mostly congregational and a devotee who have job.
Yes, and 90 to 99% of our devotees are in Grihastha ashram. They are outside. So that is perfectly all right. Srila Prabhupada actually, when he spoke to Jayapataka Maharaj, he asked once on a morning walk, so how do you think this movement will spread? And then Jayapataka Maharaj and few other people gave some answers, and Srila Prabhupada said, no, congregational preaching. That is how Jayapataka Maharaj took that seriously and began the CDM, Congregational Development Ministry. It is through congregational preaching that we are going to make more and more devotees. And sthane sthita, you can remain in your situation. Everybody doesn't need to join the temple. Those who want to join the temple are welcome. But those who want to continue with their grihastha life or with their jobs, they are welcome to continue. They just have to practice the tenets of Krishna consciousness and follow the instructions of their spiritual mentors and teachers, and they can also make their life successful. In fact, today, the most successful preachers are grihasthas because they are reaching out in a big way to others who are in society. Sometimes people get frightened. They see sannyasis or they see brahmachari and think, oh, I can never be so renounced. I can never do like this. I can never live in the ashram. I cannot surrender like this. But that's all right. Krishna consciousness means there's room for everyone. Grihastha ashram is a legitimate ashram, and anyone and everyone can make progress in Grihastha ashram. In fact, Mother Krishna Nandini started the Grihastha Vision team simply to empower, enthuse and enliven the Grihasthas who were, at least in the initial days, they were sort of looked down upon, Everyone was wanting to become sannyasi, and the Grihasthas were like, oh, it's a concession, you can. But Srila Prabhupada says all the ashrams are equally important, and in all the ashrams we can make progress in Krishna consciousness. So there is no bar to anyone. And yes, you are absolutely correct. The movement is going to spread more and more through congregational preaching.
Should we then lost this extincting species, it's brahmachari and sannyasi?
No, not at all. In fact, good brahmacharis will make good grihasthas. That training that they get, the training and the discipline and the principles of Krishna consciousness, they will never forget. So that training is very important. In fact, it is very nice for both brahmacharis and brahmacharinis to undergo some period of training in the temple so that there's a very solid foundation. You see, for practicing Krishna consciousness, there's nothing wrong. If one chooses then after that to remain brahmachari, that's perfectly all right. But if he or she chooses to enter Grihastha ashram, at least they would have got a very firm grounding, very firm foundation. And some, believe me, our coming devotees will be very advanced. Srila Prabhupada said, you don't be surprised to see how advanced the coming devotees will be. Demigods are taking birth in this moment. They are queuing up to take birth in this moment. So we will see many young people who are actually very advanced devotees who have taken birth in this moment. And Lord Chaitanya is placing these souls all over the world because he wants to spread Krishna consciousness and save as many souls as possible. You will not believe this. About few years ago, I was in Split, Croatia. Split. And one young boy was giving a Sunday feast lecture. He must have been barely maybe 20s. Very, very young boy. I don't know his name. Very young. I was absolutely thunderstruck. He was quoting Shastras. He had perfect grasp of philosophy. He was bringing different, aspects of the philosophy together in explaining that verse. And I was like, wow. You could see that this is a very advanced soul come into our movement. So they might choose to remain brahmacharis and then go on straight to sannyas ashram. We don't know. See, Lord Chaitanya has a plan for each and every soul. So some might choose grihastha ashram, some might be brahmacharis, some might become sannyasis, some might become vanaprasthas. We don't know. But whatever ashram we can make best progress in, we must choose that. In that Gajendra Moksham pastime, Lord Srila Prabhupada explains that because the crocodile was situated in his element, he was in the water. Gajendra was very strong, but he's a land animal. So he was gradually weakening while the crocodile was becoming stronger and stronger. So some of us will do very well as renunciants. That is a better ashram for us. Some of us will be able to do well only if we are situated in Grihastha ashram. That your spiritual master will guide and help. So, the point I am trying to make is everyone will be situated nicely and make progress once their ashram, varna, everything is clear. Then they can make nice progress in Krishna consciousness. That's the point I am trying to make. Is that all right?
Yeah, but I still worry because you said that it's good for young people come and take training, but if our movement it's most and most congregational preaching and we are extincting species brahmacharis and sannyasis, who will train these new people would come and
no, why do you say they are getting extinct? On the other hand, I'm saying there'll be more and more brahmacharis, more and more advanced devotees coming into our movement. Why extinct?
Because ashrams is closing around the world. It's mostly temples is open for festivals and no one not living in them. I'm not speaking about Indian congregation and
it's like booming. There are lots of you're talking about the West. And yes, that is true. We have to seriously consider in the early days of the movement, people were joining by the hundreds. Because Prabhupada was personally here. His powerful presence drew so many people. Tamal Krishna Maharaj, busloads of people would come. So we must now seriously strategize and see what we need to do to attract the Westerners to Krishna consciousness. What we need. There's lots of wonderful college preaching going on. I don't know about Croatia, but in University of Florida, they have Krishna lunch. That program has been going on for 40 years. So many devotees have come simply by taking lunch prasadam on the university campus. They have joined Krishna house and then gone on to become devotees. So, I think that we must strategize. We must have certain plans in place and we must try to reach out to the youth in such a way that it appeals to them. Then we will see. This movement is very powerful. There is no doubt that it will spread. It's a question of utilizing everything that Prabhupada has given us intelligently. What did Prabhupada say? This movement will expand. Early in the morning at 2 o'clock, he rang the bell and he called Giriraj Maharaj. At that time, he was winding up his pastimes. He was going to leave his body shortly. So he said, how will this movement go on after I am gone? So Giriraj Maharaj said, oh, Prabhupada, we will chant, we will. So Prabhupada said, no, organization and intelligence. So we have to start thinking. Prabhupada said, now tax your brain how to increase this Krishna consciousness movement. So we all have to come together and understand the psyche of the youngsters. What is the most pressing problem? That today a lot of young people are very depressed. They're very discouraged. Many of the young people tell me, we don't even want to get married. And if they're married, they don't want to bring children into this world. They say, look at the pollution, look at what is happening to Mother Earth. How can we bring children? So they are feeling very discouraged, which is natural. Look at the situation of the world. How the demons are destroying and ruining the environment, doing so much chaos. Krishna consciousness is the only answer. There is actually no other answer. So once they see that, they will take to Krishna consciousness. So there's great hope. Why not? We have a hand up there. Yes, Prabhu. Markandeya Rishi Prabhu.
I just wanted to ask about this point that you said. You quoted this person, actually you quoted Srila Prabhupada, but Srila Prabhupada said, yes, this is the correct answer. You feel Krishna, therefore you can understand that Krishna is God. So I just wanted to present a doubt that I heard from some people. They say, okay, you feel nice, you say you feel Krishna, you say you feel that Krishna is God, you feel that this is the truth somehow, but many people do some bad things in the world that they also feel nice. So maybe this is some kind of
hypnotism, cult. Yeah, you're right. There are many very charismatic leaders who manage to hypnotize their audience and make them feel good for the time being. We've known many such fake godmen and all kinds of people who are misleading the population. And that is why the disciplic succession becomes very important. What is we may ask this person, whoever is trying to do whatever they are doing, what sampradaya you belong to? Who is your Gurudev? What are the tenets of your philosophy? What are you practicing? And then we will know for sure what they are doing. Are they following the 4 regulative principles? Are they taking to the process in its pure form? Then we will understand whether there is some self-centered, selfish agenda, and generally fake godmen will be found out because they are not following the regulative principles. They are claiming to be God. Only a genuine devotee of the Lord, a genuine guru like Srila Prabhupada will say, I am a servant of God. Most of them claim to be God themselves. Worship me. And they may make you feel good for some time. But after a few years, they are caught in some scandal or the other. Disgusting actually how many fake godmen and godwomen are coming, especially out of India, because there's a great fad for all these things. India being is a land of spiritual knowledge. There's a natural inclination to find a guru. But so many people are misleading. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said, you find a genuine guru. Why you fall for all these cheats? So therefore, giving people knowledge is so important. Distributing Prabhupada's books is so important. Telling them what is genuine, what is the genuine process is so important. Then only they will know fake from genuine. Right? God consciousness is not so cheap thing, Prabhupada said. God is not so cheap. If you want to buy a diamond, you have to pay the price. Right? So, we want to impress on people that what Prabhupada is giving us is the genuine process. And if you want, then you have to pay the price. You have to follow the regulative principles, you have to follow the program. And why not? It's a joyful process. Right? It's a joyful process. By engaging in it, what is poison turns to nectar. Initially very tough. Get up early in the morning, go for Mangalarti. We are crying. Isn't it? Initially it's like that, right? But then now you cannot stop yourself from going to Mangalarti, right? You're just waiting for the curtains to open and when the Kirtan will begin. It is so sweet. Later on, initially it will be difficult, it will be challenging. But as you keep purifying yourself, the process becomes sweeter and sweeter. Just like a jaundiced man, you give him sugar candy, bitter. But the cure is sugar candy. So similarly, the cure, eneti aushadhi maya nasi baro lagi, harinam mahamantra lao tumi magi. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, this is the medicine. Take the medicine, get well, bring down the material fever. Then we will start feeling some spiritual bliss. So little by little, we will see ourselves changing thanks to this Hare Krishna movement and becoming better people. It works. I swear it works. I would not be sitting here and telling you this if it doesn't work. I'll share my own personal example if I may. Is that all right? My mother, God bless her heart, very saintly person, very, very pious. Whatever I am today is because of her. But somehow she and I had a very frictional relationship. She wanted me to be perfect, so she'll always criticize me. And I was very sensitive to her criticism. I would react. Then I come to Krishna consciousness. Okay, I had been practicing for some years and 24 hours under the same roof, we could not pass without arguing and fighting and quarreling. But then I invited her because I had become a Hare Krishna. I wanted her to see the temple, see the devotees. And you will not believe this. I was actually able to be tolerant. I was actually able to feel compassionate that why she's poking at me all the time. As a mother, she just wants me to improve. She wants me to be perfect. And that is coming from a place of anxiety. She had a very difficult childhood. So she wanted, like a mother hen, how it protects the baby. All that was coming from a good place. Because I had become a Hare Krishna, I was able to tolerate her criticism and show compassion. And then she changed. Because I changed, she changed. You see? And I told all my friends, this Krishna consciousness works. It really does. I could never have ever dreamt of having a decent relationship with my mother. I swear to you. It went on till my 40s. Quarreling and arguing and fighting, especially after I became a Hare Krishna. But then, because this process is so powerful, my dear spirit souls, have full faith that Prabhupada is really given us the best. And even murderers, criminals, sinful people, if they can become saintly people like Valmiki, why not us? Why not us? We can go back home, back to Godhead. It's a fact. So, never lose courage, never lose faith. Just keep plugging away at it. Yes, we are not perfect. We fall down, we stumble. But just like a child who is learning to walk. How many times does it stumble and fall? Does it give up? No. And one day it is running all over the place, right? Mama and daddy are holding their heads like this. Stop, stop, stop. So day will come when you will be running in Krishna consciousness, without a doubt. Haribol. This is the power of Prabhupada. This is the power of this process. It's a very wonderful moment. And one day we'll all be singing and dancing in Golok Vrindavan. Joyfully. Yes? You like that? Lord Chaitanya's moon is rising. Chaitanya's moon is rising. So it's not at all surprising that we're chanting in the street, telling everyone we meet, we're going home, we're going home. We are going home. Isn't that wonderful? I think it is. I think it's the most wonderful thing. We are going back home. Yes, it will take time. Yes, we may need to spend some lifetime. But as long as we stay in this process, we are proceeding on the right track. Have no doubts about that. Hare Krishna. I'm 3 minutes over time, so I will stop here. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj ki.